Welcome to the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. So the trade deadline has come and gone. And the New York Giants made one move yesterday in acquiring Leonard Williams, and it's left a lot of New York Giants fans up in the air. Should I like this move? Shouldn't I? I like the player. I think he's going to play well for the Giants. I think it was good in acquiring him. Now the question is, was it worth trading for him, being that he's going to be a free agent next year? Now, Lamel Sinclair, a good subscriber of mine, brought up the point that the Giants could use the franchise tag rather than a long-term commitment now that he is already on the roster. The Giants also, if they do let him walk, they basically get that third-round pick, be it a comp pick, if he does receive $100 million like he's asking for, and you would have only surrendered really a fifth-round pick at the end of the day. But we're not going to win this year, so that was not a win-now move. So it is definitely a head-scratcher for the New York Giants, being that they could have tried to go out there and acquire him via free agency. So I get why Giants fans are up in the air about that move. I do think Leonard Williams is going to be a good New York Giant. But what this video is today, with the trade deadline expiring, the New York Giants sat on their hands, and they did not trade any of these bad contracts and guys that I think most Giant fans assumed would not be on the roster entering the 2020 season. That being Alec Ogletree, that being Rhett Ellison, that being Nate Solder, and most importantly, Janoris Jenkins. I'm going to start with Rhett Ellison. I'm going to give you a pass there. I mean, I could understand not a lot of teams are going to be interested in a limited tight end, right? He's not the best athlete. He's not going to change your offense. So I could understand that. I could understand Alec Ogletree. Alec Ogletree is past his prime. He's regressed since coming here. And he was a bad trade to begin with. We only gave up a fifth to get him, and he's worse. So we weren't going to get much for Ogletree, especially with his contract. He makes $12 million a year. So I'll give you a pass on Ogletree. I'll give you a pass on Nate Solder. Because quite frankly, I couldn't believe the rumors that I was hearing that the Browns and Patriots might have been interested in acquiring his services. So I'm not going to get on Gettleman for that. Where I'm going to get on Gettleman is not trading Janoris Jenkins. And listen, I've been a big Gettleman supporter, okay? I like a lot of the things this guy has done. I like his philosophy. I think you build from the line out, okay? Offensive and defensive line. That is where you win in this league, the trenches. And we all know Dave Gettleman is all about the trenches, which is why he brought in Leonard Williams. It's why he's drafted all these players where he has. It's why he spent all that money on Nate Solder. So I can agree with his philosophy. He still might not be doing a good job, because at the end of the day, look at the offensive line. I'm not calling for Dave Gettleman's job, but I'm going to start to question some of the things he does. The offensive line, has it worked out? I mean, we said it did, but has it? Kevin Zeitler's been pretty good. Will Hernandez has regressed this year. Jalapeno's not been good in the middle. Nate Solder is awful, and Remmers is awful. So we still have a lot of holes in that offensive line. The defensive line, I do like Dexter Lawrence. I do like Dalvin Tomlinson. I do like Leonard Williams. So, yeah, I guess you give him points there. But how in the world does Dave Gettleman not trade Janoris Jenkins? It makes no sense whatsoever. You have a 31-year-old cornerback. His value will never be higher than it is now. You have a 2-6 football team. He's coming off 4 great weeks. He's got 4 interceptions, I think, in the last 4 games. He's played good. He's cursing in press conferences. He's making it known that he doesn't care where he plays. That's basically what he said, to paraphrase what Janoris Jenkins said. You have young cornerbacks who need time to gel and learn the game in a Corey Ballantyne, a Sam Beal. These guys need to get on the football field. Julian Love. Janoris Jenkins, even though he is our best cornerback at this point in time, this is not a win-now football team, and more than likely will not be a win-now football team next year at this rate. So keeping Janoris Jenkins and not trading him, I don't care what you get. And I know there were suitors. We heard rumors about the Kansas City Chiefs for weeks. You're telling me the New York Giants couldn't get a 5th-round pick for Jackrabbit? Even a 6th-round pick. It's better than getting nothing, because you're not getting a comp pick if you cut him next year. And if you keep him on the roster, he's eating up $15 million a year space and taking a roster spot of a place where Sam Beal could play and mature. So keeping Janoris Jenkins makes no sense to me whatsoever. And it goes back to Dave Gettleman's stubbornness. Now, I don't know, obviously the conversations he had with the general managers today, but I know there were teams out there that probably gave them a call about Jenkins during this process. Janoris Jenkins has proven he's a pretty good cornerback this year, and he's played pretty well for the Giants, statistically at least. And I don't understand why Dave Gettleman wouldn't have traded this guy. This is a guy we knew going into the year he was going to be traded at the deadline. That's what we said. Because he carries a $3.5 million dead cap hit next year. And it doesn't make sense to keep him. Get that cap space and get younger players on this football team. So when Gettleman does things that I don't agree with, I'm going to question it. And I'm seriously questioning his lack of moves at the deadline. 2-6, you should be trying to acquire as many assets as you can get. Like I said, I can't get on it for the other three players, but I could get on it for Janoris Jenkins. I don't know, guys. I'm not happy today. I'm just not happy. I really thought the Giants were going to make some moves today and get more draft picks, and they didn't. They stood on their hands, and in fairness to the Giants, everybody did. There were no moves today outside of the Miami Dolphins inexplicably bringing in Aqib Talib. But other than that, there was nothing. And the Giants stand pat, and they will they'll be playing home against Dallas with the same defense and offense that they've had. Obviously, with the addition of Leonard Williams, and Tay Davis was cut today. So, there you have it. We stand pat at the deadline. Don't really get it. But as always, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.